This is Remix Report with your hosts, DJ JD and DJ J Spring. For the date of
January 12th, 2011.
Hey everyone, welcome to Remix Report episode 138. I'm DJ JD.
I'm DJ J Spring, and today is Wednesday, which means it's another Playlist Wednesday episode, and we're gonna give you a song from our crates, and we're gonna tell you what we played before and what we play after.
And today is actually a special edition. This is a request from one of our viewers, so we thought we'd give that a shot. And the song that was requested was Big Pimpin'. How do we fit Big Pimpin' into our sets?
I was actually wondering the same thing.
Yeah, it has been a while since I've really played it. It's a song I really like. I remember the first time I heard it, I was coming home from work back in high school, and I heard it on the radio on the way home, and I was like, that song's awesome. So I go home, and it was kind of early in my DJ career. I'd probably been DJing, that was probably the first year I was DJing, and I'd just gone to the record store a couple days before, and I got a new Jay-Z record, but the A side of the record was, I think, Anyway?
Anything,
something like that. And so I'm going through the records, and I happened to take that one out, and I was like, oh, Jay-Z, I'll see what's on this. I look at the other side, and there's Big Pimpin', the B-side, and I was like, I felt like I had won the lottery because I liked the song so much. It was awesome.
And this was back in the day before songs really became instant hits. It took this one a little while, I think, and this was right after Just Give It To Me came out, I believe. This was the single right after that.
Yeah, and it is a tough song to kind of fit in your set just because of the tempo. It's 69 beats per minute, 138 if you double time it.
So what do? You work up from like 50 BPM and then you get up to... No, I'm joking, we don't do that.
So you could definitely fit it into your down south set at some points.
And if you really want, you can go from, if you're playing super up-tempo, like if you're in the 135 range and you don't know how you're going to get out of that, this is a way to get down to down south, and you don't even need a transition to do it.
Yeah, I remember back in the day when I played this, I used to work up from like Zombie Nation and Sandstorm, like some of the trance stuff, maybe into, there was a Fatboy Slim, Rockefeller Skank, and B.O.B., Bombs Over Baghdad by Outkast. I used to kind of all play that stuff around this in this set, but a lot of that stuff you can't really play as much these days. So
see, when I was DJing back then, I really had no concept of any of the actual BPMs or anything, and I just knew that when I played, I think it was like Toka's Miracle or whatever the hot techno was back then. I knew that I could mix What's Your Fantasy into it, and I just didn't really know why it worked, but I just know that it worked. And that concept is still true. Obviously, if you take one song that's a high BPM, something that's half of it mixes, in case you guys didn't know. So let's get into this.
Yep, so let's start with your example.
Alright, my example I think is, am I the only DJ to ever do this? What's Your Fantasy into Big Pimpin'?
No, I've done this a lot.
I think every DJ who was spinning back then has done this because...
This was the mix. This was it.
I mean, these are the only two records. This was before Down South was what it was today. I mean, Ludacris came out on Def Jam. That really introduced Down South to a lot of people. And when I say Down South, I mean the low BPMs, 70, 75. These were really the only two Down South records that most DJs had in their crates back then. It was before Little John. Definitely before Soulja Boy. So these were only two 70 BPM records that existed, and I think every DJ mixed them together at some point, so why not? Let's that's gonna be part of my mix. And they're not in key, so like what hip-hop DJs do is I have it blending in my headphones, and then when it's time, the crowd can't hear the blend, but I know what's gonna happen. When it's time, I just kinda fade What's Your Fantasy down and bring up Big Pimpin'. It doesn't sound bad, but it's just kind of abrupt. It's not like a real mix where you hear the next song coming in for 8 bars. Yeah. And going out of it, I'm going to play 3-6 Mafia, Stay Fly, have a little acapella intro, and I have a short edit of Big Pimpin', and let's take a listen.
I wanna lick you from your head to your toes, and I wanna move from the bed down to the floor. When I wanna, you make it so good, I don't wanna leave, but I gotta know what's your fantasy.
know I thug 'em, fuck 'em, love 'em, leave 'em, cause I don't fucking need 'em. Nigga man, Pimp C and B.U. and B. I gotta stay fly till I die. I gotta stay fly till I die. I gotta stay.
Alright, so that was Jay Spring's example. Sounds really good.
Thank you.
Nice example. In my example, I'm also going to start with a Ludacris song. I'm going to use How Low to keep it a little more current.
Anytime you play Big Pimpin', it's mandatory that you play Ludacris before it.
It is. This is going to be the Danny Diggz Acapella outro edit into Big Pimpin', and then in-key mix into Pop, Lock, and Drop It by Huey. Also kind of keeping it current, so current, old, current kind of.
Where did you get that acapella out for the Ludacris?
That might have been on DMS.
I believe it was probably directmusicservice.com.
Yep. So let's take a listen to that.
Yeah, you a superstar, there's just one thing I gotta know. So Big Pimpin' and P.A.T. It's just that nigga man, Pimp C and B.U. and B.
Toot that thing up, mommy, make it roll. Once you pop.
How Low into Big Pimpin' into Pop, Lock, and Drop It.
One thing I had to tell JD, because he wasn't sure, and some of you other guys probably don't know too, is that Huey that sings Pop, Lock, and Drop It, it's not the same Huey from Huey Lewis and the News. So this...
It's not?
No, it's not the same guy who sings Pop, Lock, and Drop It that sings Power of Love. It's two different guys.
I swear, I thought he had updated with the times.
In case you guys didn't know. Two different people.
In case you didn't know, Huey Lewis fan.
Huge Huey Lewis fan.
Who knew? So
and the News.
So Big Pimpin' is a difficult song to fit into sets these days. It's not something I play often, but it is a song I enjoy playing when I have the chance. And hopefully you guys can give us some examples of how you fit into your sets. So
especially if it's an older crowd. I feel weird saying that. It came out, what, like 2001, I want to say, 2000, 2001. It's kind of weird to think that these kids who are 21 now, they were kind of young when this song came out. But it definitely is a classic, and they should know it.
They should. But let us know how you play it. Leave a comment.
Or you can email us, remixreport@gmail.com. By the way, Huey Lewis is coming to MGM. I think it's Super Bowl Sunday. I'm kind of pissed I gotta work. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Maybe you make it early.
He came to Shrine when you were there.
He did?
Last year. I'm kind of jealous. Maybe he'll come to Scorpion Bar after.
He gave me the news.
Gave you the news. I'm jealous.
See you next time.
RemixReport.com